California, which has been a natural target for immigration throughout its history, losing people. Between 2004 and 2008, 500,000 residents up sticks and headed elsewhere. By 2010, California could lose a congressman because its population will have fallen so much. Well, the state of Nevada is happy to point out California's situation.
So the California legislature is monkeying around with small business again. Get your IOU yet? But don't worry, you know they love you. They just don't want you to relocate to Las Vegas, where there is no corporate income tax, no personal income tax, and low workers' comp fees. If the legislature keeps monkeying around, you can kiss your assets goodbye. Get the monkey off your back. Call the Nevada Development Authority. Las Vegas is open for business.
Deborah, has California become a laughingstock?
No, not really, but I always believe go west, young man. It is our manifest destiny to go where we are financially comfortable, safe. We feel like we can create a safe haven. If Las Vegas can take advantage of that, if Nevada can take advantage of that, they're not taking advantage of anything that we were not able to take advantage of here. Taxes are higher. I can't tell you the number of people that I know personally who have no choice but to leave a place they don't want to leave, but have to matriculate somewhere else because it's going to be easier on their pocketbook and an easier way of life.
Of course. Charlotte, do you agree with that?
I think California is a great place, but the first thing I want to say is I don't think Villa Rugosa should be doing ads for Nevada, because I think that might have been him in the tree. I recognize that smile. and some people would say that it's good to lose a politician, to lose a congressman, but I think California is, I agree with Deborah that it's a fantastic place, and I actually think that we are going to succeed in the end. I think it's almost like a movie where our history of California, we're going to end up being the hero in the end and winning. You know, we are progressive environmentally, and I think that we can get these industries together and be the leader in the world, which we really sort of already are. We had like
I really don't believe that.
We had 500 solar panels 10 years ago. Now we have 50,000. You know, we have the leader of the slow food movement, which is the opposite of the fast food movement, which is what inspired Michelle Obama to grow her vegetable garden. We have Hollywood. We have beautiful sunshine, beautiful weather, wonderful landscape, cultural diversity.
Charlotte, but I believe that there's a political factor that's going
to... You can make money on your property. I think there's a political factor that's going to, unfortunately, with the politics of California, with the politics of Los Angeles, I really believe, unfortunately, our schools will not do as well. I really believe that we won't come under, that we'll still be under this tight financial belt for a long, long time to come. And that's when you're going to see the push towards Nevada. I do agree that Sacramento needs to get their house in order, and they need to enforce, you know, laws against illegal immigration, and they need to have a surplus and actually save money and not keep having all these programs that they're wasting money on. I mean, they need to tighten their belt, and they need to change the way they do business, and they need to stop giving so much power to the unions.
Yeah, but Charlotte,
I totally agree, but I still think we can
Charlotte, let me just ask you a quick question. I'll give you the last word here, and we'll do it in 20 seconds. You said, in the end, it's all going to be okay.
Yes.
Okay. How long?
And the market, the real estate market's turning right now. You know, things are on the up.
Oh, I know you know the real estate market very well, but come on, Charlotte. We've been saying this for years, in the end. When is the end? 35, 40 years from now? I'm worrying about tomorrow. Tomorrow is the end. We got to fix it now, don't you think?
I think we need to start fixing it. I totally agree. And I think people are starting to realize that. There's starting to be more and more pressure on legislators, both in Los Angeles and in Sacramento. I mean, that's why we had all this pressure with the budget, where they wanted to raise taxes, and people said, no, you're going to have to make cuts. And they made those cuts, and I think they needed to make those cuts. That's good. That's the right track.
You know what? I think they ought to run them all out of Sacramento, quite frankly, and start again. Okay.
Yes.
Let's go to this next story now, and I want to get your take on this because it's heartbreaking. An 11-year-old girl collapsed on the floor of her home. She couldn't walk, she couldn't talk, couldn't eat, or couldn't drink. Her parents and people in the house prayed around her. She died. An ambulance was called after she stopped breathing. It happened in Wisconsin, and today, Vincent Howard and Leilani Newman were sentenced to 10 years probation and 30 days a year in jail for the next 6 years for praying instead of seeking medical care for their dying daughter. Charlotte, bottom line, is that punishment severe enough?
You know, I think it is. They did not intentionally do anything to harm the child. And, you know, I do think they do deserve punishment. I mean, you have a difficulty because you have child neglect versus the First Amendment, and it's a difficult thing. What's really unusual, I had never heard of, they're getting jail like 1 month out of every year, and I'd never heard of that. That's extremely unusual. It's almost like going on vacation for a month, except you're going to prison. But, you know, a lot of people, you know, 96% of people in this country believe in God. 35% believe in healing in association with some kind of prayer. And so I think there's a lot of sympathy in this country for someone who puts that kind of faith in prayer. Prayer is, you know, something that is going to be a coping mechanism. It's going to provide, you know, relaxation and maybe even some sort of a placebo for those parents.
It's going to be a coping. All right, it's going to be a coping mechanism. I buy that. I don't think it is the antidote or the cure when someone is dying in front of you.
No, I agree with you. I totally agree. It's just I wouldn't be that. I think that their penalty is fine. I mean, I would penalize them. I would probably do the same thing that this judge decided. But I think that some penalties in order, but not too much.
Deborah?
I think I agree. I definitely agree with Charlotte. The penalty is fine for what it is. And as a religious person myself, or rather as a spiritual person, who I like to take the personal and the spiritual and the religious philosophy of all religions without embracing the religions themselves, which makes me more on the spiritual side. Absolutely, God helps those who help themselves. And it's interesting because they didn't pray for a job. They went out and worked. They didn't pray for their lights to come on. They had electricity. So to a certain extent, there was an understanding of what they're supposed to do within a society, whether it's a godless society or a society that believes in God, but whether it's a local community, regardless of their faith, they knew that there were specific and systematic steps that they had to take to keep their lives running on a daily basis, including a child who has diabetes. Now, although they prayed over that child and believed in that moment, that child could not have had that as the first episode. In other words, I'm sure that she needed medication at other particular times, had to be hospitalized at other times, was home from school at other times, and they should have known better. But I believe that in that moment, in that particular episode, they believed that their faith would win out. Unfortunately, it didn't. And I think the hardest lesson that they'll have to learn and the worst thing that they'll have to go through is life without that child.
Well put. Deborah?
Right.
All right. Charlotte? Ladies, nice job tonight. Always good talking to you. We'll talk to you again soon.
You too.
If you're so smart, prove it. Contact NBC Filter on Twitter or Facebook, or send an email to thefilter@nbcuni.com. We care what you think, but if we don't like it, we'll filter you.